somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They should take it to 10.
Hey.
Appreciate you, Coach. One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the London Monarchs and the Chicago Bears. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
You got Lance. You got tight right there.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
You don't see me in your... Go to 50. Hey, you flying over here. Check three. Back. Watch, twist. Protein spill. He's coming. Double up. 50.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
No. 319. Check. No. 319. 27. Push him back.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Let's go now. Hey, come on. Check 45. Come on. Get him. Slam.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now King. Off play action. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Black. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 16 yards, a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's King. Off the play fake. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the give, running right is Howard. And some room to work. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand him up from that 1-yard line, pushing him back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. King forced out to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
Badgley able to punch this one through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You draw quarter. Get 300. Get 300.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
319. 54.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Running with Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On 3rd down, King. And this is caught at the 8. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Howard. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Jordan Howard. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Jumbo! Pilot, 64, weak.
Now Rodgers. Caught by Jones. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
50. 47 is the mic. Jim. Hey, watch your leg. 47 is the mic.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Julio Jones. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown! A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. And that is how you retaliate after getting scored on one play, big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like two boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Back to throw. King. He leaves this one for Howard. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To throw is King on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Nate Gary, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Now Howard. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Gonna throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Marquise Goodwin. Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. King now. From the gun, he'll throw. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. Give him 30 yards there. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
Again, it's Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. King. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Past the 20. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. King throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. That one goes for 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. His throw caught at about the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll try again with Howard. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Jordan Howard with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And an alley to run. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now King, off play action. He sets to fire deep. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Eddie Jackson picks it. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Hits his target, it's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Here's King, looking to throw on 2nd down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Throwing on 3rd and long. King. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Dancing to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great tech.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Hey, Steve 6.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points that gets them back within a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Here we go. Check out.
Back to throw. King. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw, eluding the pressure right. It'll be a gain of 24 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. On the return is Cohen. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over.
At their own 24-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers complete to Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down. He'll look to throw.
That gets him the 1st down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll look to throw. This complete to Jones. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And two big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. They try again with Cohen. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Inside.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They're running it. Watch the sip. Switch. Rush it.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. Down 4 late, got to go for it here on 4th down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter, lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that, because when you have a lead in the 4th quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.